And it kind of feels like a double date so far.
This is going well.
Well, I
Doesn't feel like it feels like a double date.
yeah, it is. It felt more.
Waiter
yeah,
hasn't come by yet.
It's funny when you we have no one's taken our order. Okay, ready? We're gonna start.
Where's the drinks?
Excuse me. Okay, if there was a waitress, what would you order?
Like an alcoholic drink?
We're on a double date.
I never really drink. I'd probably get a Diet Coke.
Okay, we'd love a Diet Coke.
Ooh, I'd maybe go for a margarita.
I do like mojitos, and I actually also like virgin mojitos. So
I love virgin mojitos.
they're so refreshing.
I would either get a Diet Coke because you did, and if you didn't, I would get an Aperol Spritz. What would you get?
I love Aperol Spritz.
I love them.
Yeah, I would definitely follow the lead of the group. So if it was no alcohol, I'd probably do non-alcoholic beer. I'm very into non-alcoholic beers
really?
right now.
But
I like
not
light.
margarita.
You
I
like,
like
the
the
taste
taste
of
of
beer?
it.
Dude,
Yeah.
I literally
Yeah,
don't
that's
even
so
like the
bad.
taste of beer.
Like-
The only time I've ever drank beer was just to be like, yes, like
He's a
the
pretty
the
bad
boys are
guy.
getting a beer, so I'll have one. But like, I do not like beer at all.
So I like it, and like the psyche of like what a beer does to a moment has just like it's now ingrained in me, and so like when it feels like a time for a beer, I like opt for a non-alc a lot now, and like it hits because when we had our kid, like out after that we were drinking a ton, and then it was probably like 8 weeks ago. Is that right?
Like more than that, probably.
Probably 3 months ago. Alex was just kind of like, you know what? Like, I think we're drinking a little too much. Like, let's tone it back. Nothing like concerning. And so,
More than like we usually drink, though.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it was very like postpartum. I was just like, wait, we're drinking like way more than I would ever like to.
yeah. And so now, like, I have a cap of not drinking more than 2 days in a week, but I probably have a non-alc beer 3 days a week. But I feel like we keep saying we're going to get into it. So let's get
Okay,
into
ready?
it.
We're going to start. Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Two Parents in a Podcast, our first ever we're going to call it double date edition.
Love it.
Today we are joined by Matt and Abby, who we are
Hello.
so excited about. They are one of the biggest couples on the internet. You guys have a very cute love story.
Thank you.
And they're content creators, they're podcasters. I think you guys do such a good job of like touching every corner of the internet. I always say.
Thank you.
There's not, you guys are on every platform, and you're on every platform and you do it really well.
Thank you so much.
And most importantly, they are parents to two little boys who are 3 and 1, but almost 3 and 2
Yes.
because they're 13 months apart.
Yes.
Yes.
Griffin and Augie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
This is
thank
really such
you.
an honor.
Yeah.
We're honored. We were excited. We were like, we're in Phoenix, you guys. We flew from Austin to here today, and then tonight we're going to Orange County. This comes out Sunday. Do you guys know that?
I did not know that.
Perfect.
That's our first episode. So
Let's go.
it's happening in real time.
Okay, I'm
That's
stoked.
sweet.
As real as it possibly can. Okay, so before this, I posted that we were coming like 3-4 weeks ago, and then I got what I call the summer sinus infection. So we didn't end up coming. But in my DMs, everyone was like, wait, is it Matt and Abby? Is it Matt and Abby? Is that who you're going to see? And the answer is yes, that's who we were coming to see.
Yay.
And then Harrison said right before this, are we having 2 kids or is there going to be a third? And I was just listening to your last episode, and it seemed, why are you shaking your head?
Because I had to work on him for a while, but I feel like I cracked Matt to be open to the idea of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It sounded like you really did.
I think I really cracked him.
I was like, in the midst of the 2 under 2, I was like, I don't know, babe. I think we're done. And yeah, I mean, I think you cracked into my skull there.
Got him.
She broke through. So
Yeah.
the whole thing is, and we didn't want to have a boy, but we thought we were having a boy. And then like we ended up having a girl. I love having a girl, and I know you love being a girl dad. So I was very interested in the method of potentially being able to have a girl that you guys had learned.
Yeah, I can't speak to it because we've never tried it.
Right.
But it's worked for people that I know. Do you know?
Okay.
Do you know the concept of it?
Well, no.
I'd love to
Like
hear.
kind of. I know you like pick different ovulation days.
Yes.
And then like do it
I'm
there.
an expert on it.
It's called the Shettles method. I had to like look it up again because I forgot the name.
Yes,
but
that's
the
what it was,
Shettles method, it's like actually a thing. There was I
It's
believe
not proven by science or research. Or
I
anything.
believe a doctor of some sort, like back in the 60s, came up with it, and his last name was Shettles, which is why it's called that. But essentially what you do is you try up until your ovulation day, and you stop like I think the day or two before the ovulation day, and that apparently is supposed to increase your chances of having a girl because girl sperm can live longer than boy sperm. So then there's going to be like a higher concentration of like the girls in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Weird, right?
Interesting.
I don't know that we
But it's
care enough to one day have a girl to try that, but it'd be an interesting study.
We know of people that it worked, like they did it and it worked.
Yeah, I know of 2 people that had 2 boys, and then they did this method and then had a girl after having 2 boys.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. Did you know that existed?
No, definitely did not know that existed. And so is the preference for baby 3 to be a girl, or we don't care?
See, for you, like I think when
think
that time comes, I feel like it would be fun for it to be a girl.
It'd be really fun for it to be a girl, but like I don't know why at this point like it would be like freaky also, because I feel like if we were to add another boy to our mix, I'd be like, oh, I can totally see how another boy would mesh into like the flow our family has right now. But a girl, I'm like, that would probably be something to like readjust to more than another boy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think there's some things like I think about mindset pre-baby versus mindset post-baby, and I feel like pre-baby, like I had a lot of fixation on like if it's like life through having a son or life through having a daughter, and post-baby, it's like it's something that like I just like my care towards is so little. Like if baby 2 for us is a boy versus baby 2 a girl, like there's a incredibly long list of things that like I think more about, but that like wasn't the case beforehand.
Some people have really strong preferences even after having kids, and I think that's valid, and like
totally.
I understand that. But for me, I just don't feel that, I guess. Like I think a girl would be really fun. I always tell Matt a girl would be a great investment into my future.
Totally.
Because like I'm thinking long-term friendship. Like with a daughter, it's gonna be closer than a mom with a son as an adult, I would imagine. And so I'm like, Matt, like lunch, shopping, nails, that would be kind of fun to do with a daughter down the line. But I mean, at this point, I'm like, whatever's meant to be will be, right? Like,
that's what I love. And I just think in general, I think both genders are so much fun. They're different.
Yeah.
So it would be like an adjustment, like you're saying, like, because you guys are like boy parents.
Yeah.
But then to add a girl to the mix would be.
I think my kids have already been chosen for me. Like, so then I'm like, I'm just living out what was already gonna happen.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. It does. No, it does make sense. I feel the same way.
They've been sent for me already. So like I'm just doing whatever happens.
Whatever's meant to be will be. Okay,
Right.
so now because I have a question about if you have a third baby.
Yeah.
Would you vlog that one? Because so like you vlogged your first 2 births, right?
Okay, yeah.
Do you call them vlog?
Sure. Yeah, that's
I
what
call it a vlog.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, it was a vlog.
It's almost like it's funny because it's like you're making a documentary of your life, like that's what like people ask me like, Matt, why do you spend so much time editing? Which we now have like help from editors and stuff, but even with help, like you film so much, and then it's like, how do I want to tell this story? Like how, so it's cool though. It's like it's a fun creative like outlet to have.
Let me say this to you because you were busy, right? I mean, you're like birthing a baby.
Yeah.
When you would like go into the bathroom and like talk, like as we were watching it, I was like, Matt you were so good at it.
Thank you.
So if you're listening and you're like, what are they talking about? They vlogged the first 2 births. And I mean, they start at home and like you're talking to the camera and then like you go in the car. And I just thought pre-kid, I don't know. I wouldn't have understood. Post-kid, I was like, I want to see this. I want to see what happens. And it is like the most fascinating. And you guys did a really good job putting it together. But then I read the People article, right? About how you're like, have somebody post your TikToks for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was wondering with kind of like this new relationship with content, if that would change if you would vlog it or not, the third birth.
We've actually already like kind of started to discuss like things that we would do differently, because I think that's an important discussion to have. If you're like, okay, we might think about having baby number 3, like what would we do the same, what would we do differently?
Yeah.
And there has been obviously discussion about content. For me, like I haven't actually thought about that.
Well, what you were saying to me a couple weeks ago was, hey, whenever that time comes around, we can document, we can do all that, but we should sit on it,
not post
and
it.
really think through like what are we comfortable sharing, what do we want to keep to ourselves and not share with the world, Because once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really wise.
Yeah, I was like, we can record the moment because here's the thing: these are priceless moments, whether or not like they are become public or not. Like that's something I probably want to have down the line. Like I think even my parents have pictures and videos of my birth, you know, before this was ever anything social media, you know. And so I'm like, we'll document it all and then sit on it, not post anything for a certain period of time. I'm talking like weeks because there's, you know, that time after you have a baby is just like, it's a whirlwind. I don't think I make decisions I would have made otherwise, like in those times, because my brain is just like, you're like, okay, I have a baby to care for. I have, my hormones are crazy. And so, yeah, that's basically, I'm just making a longer story out of Matt said, but like sit on that longer, you know, kind of marinate, let it rest, let everything settle, and then decide what we want to make public. That's what we would do differently, probably.
I really like this topic or theme of like what you would do differently.
Yeah.
So I'd love to kind of like dive a little more into that and through two lenses. Like one of the many reasons why I was excited to interview y'all is like this world of parent and family creators. Like 9 months ago, I didn't know that it existed. And so I kind of personally tripped and fell into this world behind Alex and her content. And obviously y'all have made a massive mark on this category. So I'd love to hear, you know, things that you would do differently or you're thinking about doing differently from a content perspective with kid number 3, but also just like as parents, what do you think y'all would do differently for kid number 3?
Yeah, I think for me, it really kind of goes along with Abby's idea of sitting on content longer, sitting on footage longer, and just like waiting to evaluate, okay, what is the right direction here? Just because something we have done with our own podcast is like be very vulnerable with the internet, with the world, and sharing like everything that's going on in our life, including stuff like arguments, disagreements that we've had, and talking about those things publicly, especially when you're around, you know, birth, C-section, breastfeeding, postpartum. It's a really hard time, especially for the mom. And so I think it's like you don't realize like how if you have public perception added on top of that and something goes south, if someone says something negative about you, whether it's a lot of people or a little or just a few people, it can really like get in your head and it can really like affect you in addition to the stuff that's already going on. And so I think just having wisdom with that and having like discretion of, okay, let's sit on this, let's have privacy here, I think is probably one of the best things you can do, especially as a creator in like the lifestyle niche.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Typically, you don't associate the word speed with the word quality in the same sentence, right? Because you're not going to go to a drive-through and expect a sit-down gourmet meal because the two of those things, they just don't live in the same place. But there is an exception to this unwritten rule. If you're hiring, you can find candidates fast who are also extremely qualified for your job. All you have to do is use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/Alex. If you want to meet a standout candidate and you want to meet them fast, you guys, you can unlock their contact info instantly. Also, there's 320,000 new resumes added monthly, which means you can reach more potential hires and fill roles sooner. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And if you go to ziprecruiter.com/Alex right now, you can try it for free. Again, that's ziprecruiter.com/Alex. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Experience hiring speed and quality with ZipRecruiter. Okay, so because we were talking about this so we're older than you guys in age, right?
How old are you guys?
Have we ever said our ages?
No, but I like that
You
reaction.
can bleep it out.
That's a
I
great
wanna-
reaction.
Let's make them guess.
I'm so curious.
That's
Okay,
a
guess.
great reaction.
Okay. Wait,
Because
now
they didn't think that we were 27, 26.
They didn't think
Or
there's
they
a
thought that
notable.
maybe
how did you
we
guys know
were.
we're 27 and 26? No. I guess. Okay. Abby, you go
I'm
first.
thrilled.
No, Matt has to do it.
You're not going to offend us. You can't go too high or too low. I'm already flattered that you thought we could be your age.
32.
That's how old I am.
Across the board.
Are you actually 32?
Yeah.
Abby just like nailed it?
Nailed it. Yeah. 32.
No way. Okay, how old do you think Harrison is? You did a good. Wait, are
said
you
across the board.
messing with that? Oh, 32 across the board.
She thinks we're both 32.
I think you're older than 32. I'm gonna say you're older than Alex.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you are. What do you think, Abby?
Okay, older. 36.
She's good.
Yeah, it's also funny though. Is like I was thinking, like, is this a
I'm
time
right.
to rebrand my
Wait,
age?
really?
Yeah.
Wait, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking
Yeah.
36.
Yeah.
36.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
But like
awesome.
Once you said
I've
you
never
weren't
said
gonna be
that.
offended, I
Like,
actually believed you
not
when you said
'cause
you
it's
weren't
been
going
a
to be
secret.
I was
offended.
not going to be offended. If you said 34, I would have been flattered. If you said 30, I'd be flattered.
Okay, well,
'Cause-
32 is young, but also your skin is a million times better than mine. Like,
No,
what are you doing?
but no, God, hydrofacials.
Okay.
I'm actually doing those like every 3 weeks. So thank you for saying that. But what I was going to say is like, we're older than you guys in age, right?
Yeah.
But you guys know so much more about navigating this space that we're new to, but a
Oh.
parenting space.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing that we find fascinating is like we put our kids' face online. You guys have taken yours off.
Yeah.
And that's something that like, one, we really want to talk about, but two, like get your perspective on.
That
We're no experts, so.
that's
But no, but neither are we. But it's like you've been doing it longer, and it's like that's kind of a polarizing topic that people
Right.
are always sort
Yeah.
of talking about. And it's like, yeah, I would love to know how you guys think about that.
Yeah, I mean, for us initially, we did have our firstborn's face online because we were just like, oh yeah, we're gonna continue doing everything we've been doing. We've been vlogging our life. Okay, like we have a kid now. Cool. We're still vlogging our life. And then we were thinking like, okay, you know, there's digital footprints here. There's, you know, all these things that we're learning. Maybe right now, while we don't understand all of this, we should stop showing our kids' face. And so we did.
Okay.
And ever since then, we haven't shown their faces. And it's crazy because like we are truly in the Wild West. You know, like someone's gonna F up. There already have been parents that have effed up online and like hurt their kids. And so we're like learning on like, oh, don't do that. Good. Okay, don't do that. But like we don't want to be one of those people that like accidentally like we want the best for our kids. So I think like for us, we're just coming from the standpoint
abundance of protection. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
might
Yeah.
be an overreaction. Who knows? Like, down the line. But it's like, I guess we'd rather be safe than sorry. I think the other thing, too, is that, like, we chose this for our lives to be public facing. Our kids, like, we kind of want to give them, like, the autonomy to make that choice for themselves if they want to down the line. But obviously they're not, like, we talk about them. We share them, just not their, like, face. We don't want them to be, like, a central part of our content or to be recognizable individually. But yeah, who knows what it'll look like down the line.
Yeah, and you could change like at any moment, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
one thing that we always, so we were not going to put her online. And that was always our plan. And then, and there's like the podcast, we never have, we have areas, and I want to talk to you about relationship areas in a second, like in terms of where you boundaries, right? But one, like we have guardrails around her. So like there's content that we don't put her in. You're never going to see us changing her diaper. Like you're never going to see us tell a story about her that could embarrass her if she was 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
Like people are always on my TikTok saying, does she cry? And I'm like, of course she cries, but I'm not filming that moment.
Yeah.
Right. Cause like I'm going to get her. But I always find it fascinating how people think about it. And like, I like the ability to say like, yeah, there might be a day where we just say she's not on anymore. And then maybe she stays off for 3 years and maybe she goes back on. Like, I just think being fluid with it, but I was very curious why you did that because I think it makes so much sense.
Yeah, we never made like a formal announcement of like we're not showing. Like, it's just because it's really not like we don't view it that seriously. But then, I mean, we view protecting our kids very seriously,
Of course.
But we also obviously in this category we have so many friends that do the same thing but do it differently, and it's never like we want to like put ourselves on some like moral high ground and be like, oh, well, we think we're
like
better
the
than.
best.
And it's not the case at all. I think that
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong around things. It's just like every parent has to make the decisions for their own kids, and this is just where we're at right now with making decisions for our kids.
Totally. You have to follow your gut.
Yeah.
And my gut was like, I was like, you know what? I feel totally fine posting her. Will that change one day? It could, you know? And that's why I like, it's a question that I want to ask a lot of people that we interview because I think like it's something that we should talk about.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, why do you do it? Why do you not do it? Because just like you said, nobody's on like a moral, no one's like doing it better than anybody else. We're all just doing like what feels right to us.
Yeah.
And so I think that's that's fascinating. Do you want to ask anything about that?
No, I think it all makes sense. I think, as you alluded to, we're very much taking it day by day. Right. And I feel like that mindset towards like parenting is very much reflected in the content, where we've loved what the last, 9-10 months with her has brought. The side of content that has been, from on us from a family side has been very joyous and brought a lot of positivity into our lives. And so very, excited to keep that going. But like, I think as you also alluded to, like, this is so fluid and you learn so much and you learn so quickly that like when there is a day that we look at things through a different perspective, we have no qualms about flipping the switch and doing it differently.
I also love like no formal announcement. No, just like we're taking our kid, just like you just sort of, because I saw that you were doing like an outfit video and one of your son's like head was in the bottom and like he was and it's like I appreciate kind of that, not just like abrupt, right? Like no,
sometimes
kids.
It's hard to like make them disappear, like disappear, like they want to be around us all the time.
Yeah,
but
no, it's funny.
It's
like,
actually very difficult in editing too. Sometimes
it is difficult.
Sure.
And there's so many videos of like our kids like grabbing the camera and like
they like
wanting to
it.
like touch it and play with it, or they just like love to look at themselves and like using our camera app on our phone. We have like so many videos and pictures of them just like playing with our phones.
I've always wondered at first I thought she like wanted my phone. And I was like, oh no, like how can she already
phone addiction already?
Yeah. And then I'm like, no, she only likes it when the camera's facing her. Like,
it's like a mirror.
It's a mirror. And like she loves mirrors. And so I think that's like really cute.
It is.
One more little nugget I will say, but I don't want to dwell on it. We've also seen a very ugly negative side of the internet. And I would never, ever, ever want that target to be on my children. I can't imagine a rage that I would feel like if that happened to one of my kids. So that's probably why it will never change. But that is just something.
You mean the internet will never change?
Yeah, and like the way I would never want my kids to go.
The feeling will never
change. Even the way that my mom and my own parents feel about it, like with us, I'm like, I can't imagine if it was like something that, like I chose this for myself, but I couldn't imagine if I was the one posting my kid and then that happened.
Right.
That would,
the negativity.
For people to say horrible things about your kid.
I could never, I don't think I could, I would go to jail. I seriously would probably. You know that, Matt. I'd find somebody.
No, but I get it because I have a hard enough time when somebody doesn't like wave back.
Yeah, I'm like that hurt my feelings just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, what is your not what's your problem, but like why not wave back? Let alone like a mean comment.
Yeah, be careful in Arizona on the road. I got flipped off I get flipped off all the time here.
Why?
Road rage is very high, and apparently has something to do with the heat. I don't know. It makes people angrier. And also just like the driving. Obviously, there's like traffic, but people go really fast. Anyway. I got flipped off driving home from the studio like a couple weeks ago, just dangling out the window and holding it for so long because I was only going 10 over the speed limit.
And they wanted you to go faster?
Yeah, certainly wanted me to go
faster. And we were in the carpool lane.
And we were in the HOV.
Like, I'm pretty sure this dude was by himself. Like, why are you in the carpool lane in your truck?
And he's like went around you and then did it.
People treat
Matt was there too. I drive because I get car sick. And so I'm like, Matt, this dude's flipping me off. And I was like, he's still flipping me off. He's still flipping me off. He's still flipping me off. It's crazy. Yeah. So my feelings were hurt and they actually are still hurt like almost a month later. So
I cannot believe he did it for so long.
Yeah, I imagine.
My feelings.
Just dangling it out there.
But something about it just hurts.
It hurts so bad.
And they want to hurt you and we're letting them. And like, I know better than that. But like it's like their point is to hurt you. And then
I just was like, I just smiled back at those people because I'm like, you're not going to see your victory.
Yeah, and I'm not going to speed up.
No, I certainly will not. I've gotten 2 speeding tickets and it will never happen again.
That's
it happens all the time here though. Like someone got shot and killed in a road rage incident like a week ago in Arizona. It happens all the time because the road rage is crazy.
Why is the road rage so bad here? We have no incidents.
There's like, I actually Googled it. There's several factors, but heat is one of them, which was surprising to me.
What were you going to say?
We had a road rage incident in Napa the other week.
And we got flipped off and I'll never forget.
And like this, we at one of those kind of roundabout things and they didn't like the way we cut in and like on the horn, flipping us off, like going crazy. And I said to Alex, like right after, I'm like what an extreme reaction. Like, how do they know that like we're not dangerous people? Like you talk about these road rage incidents. And then they cut in front of us and they've just got this like crazy like face tattoo across their face, like with like a bunch of like writing. I was like, well, okay, well, I'm very glad that they were doing it to us and we weren't doing it to them,
flipping them off.
because this was definitely a scary,
That's how those
scary
things happen,
person.
though. Like with two, if you get two extreme hotheads together, like
Someone's gonna die.
Yeah. Like, that ain't us. Like,
Because they're so
That ain't
angry.
us.
And we're not
Yeah.
even angry people. And I was like, how dare them like do that? But I could see how it could escalate. I could totally see it.
Yeah.
yeah.
You just get somebody 20% more angry than we are. And it's like, that's enough to just really piss you off.
Scary.
Okay, I want to talk about the internet hate. Can we do that?
Sure.
Sure.
Or
My
not.
favorite
This are,
topic.
yeah, we love this topic.
It triggers me.
It's
Do you
so much
actually
fun.
like it or do you not like
no, we
it?
actually
No, we
hate
do
it, but that's
not.
fine. We can
Well-
talk about it for you.
Do you want to talk about it?
yeah. And
Why do you hate the topic?
It just starts to make my stomach clench.
Okay. Well, let's try to not like, cause but why does it make your stomach? Because
Yeah.
you get sad thinking about it, angry
Yeah.
thinking about it, or all the above, or just like,
Probably all the above, but my first reaction is just like dread. I don't know how to explain it. It's just
Okay.
a dread. It's just it's unfortunate that it's a reality that comes with this job.
so I read your People article about how you deleted this. You have really good social media boundaries. Also, how you would be scrolling and you would see somebody make a video about you.
Yeah.
Talking about you, weighing it, and then they don't know you, right? Because they obviously have, it's not one of your friends that's posting that.
I can say with confidence I've never watched one of those videos, but when it would like come up, it's like a panic feeling.
Totally, and you don't watch it good or bad. You just, it's
I
like,
can't watch
you
it,
just
yeah.
keep scrolling, right?
Yeah.
And so I really think it's cool. And you said it made you a better mom. You were like,
Oh, yeah.
removing this and adding the boundary and having somebody else post your videos. And then you don't read the comments. You don't go back and comment back. Is that right?
I read the comments on TikTok. I read the comments on Instagram.
Okay. I just think it's really cool that you did that.
Thank you.
Like, I think it's really cool that you were like, this isn't serving me, so I'm going to do something different.
Yeah.
Even though it's like my job, which you definitely covered in the article. You were like, it's not lost on me. The TikTok is a very important part of my job, but also I still make the content, and then you draw the boundary around it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, I think that's really cool that you do that.
Thank you.
Because you shouldn't have to subject yourself, right, to like hate if it's on there.
Yeah.
Because I think what's cool about content creators is like you put out, right, but you don't have to receive what comes back from that.
Yeah, well, let me just say this. What annoys me is like the reason that we have gotten hate is really because of me. And then for people to try to bring Abby into it is literally just them being so clout hungry that they know that it's not going to get as many views to say, oh, Matt Howard, because like that brand isn't really recognizable, but like Matt and Abby is recognizable.
Right, your name
so
is.
to like loop Abby into it is just all for money and views. And they just, it's just so nasty.
Okay.
You know? So that's what bothers me, that people would like bring her into it just because they literally don't view us as human beings, you know?
You guys, I always say changing a newborn baby is like changing a cat. And let me tell you what, when they get 9, 10, 11 months old, they start rolling over. And it's like changing time is a whole athletic sport in and of itself. So that's why Magnetic Me is the absolute best, because they have the cutest prints, they have the softest fabric, and they are so easy to change because there's no zippers. You just close one magnetic closure and boom, the rest follows suit. So Magnetic Me is the best because they make changing time quick and easy, because all the clothes use magnetic closures. There's no zippers, no buttons, and I am obsessed. I wore them last night with the Magnetic Me adult version, because if you're breastfeeding, it is truly the easiest way to get in and out of your pajamas with your baby. My favorite part of all of Magnetic Me is the prints. They have the cutest little pink prints that are so adorable. Tate's worn them since she was a baby, and we still wear them today. So do what I did. Order Magnetic Me today to make changing time easier for you and your little one. And these make a great gift. I'll never forget, my friend Sarah gave me Magnetic Me whenever I was still pregnant, and I just gifted them to my best friend Sydney. New customers get 15% off your first order when you go to magneticme.com. Don't wait. Order today at magneticme.com. Would you rather it be, and so would you rather the hate just come to you if it's about something you said? Or,
Oh, of course.
okay.
Of course.
As opposed to a couple.
I'd rather it just come to me. Like, it's one of those
Yeah.
things that we love each other so much. So, like, someone saying horrible things about the person that you love the most in the world, it's like you might as well just, like, it's like, I'd rather you just say it to me, because it's like, that is just, I don't know. It's a feeling that it's like, I never had to face until we were public facing like this.
You never had to face it.
It's
Okay.
like a protective
Yeah.
feeling. And it's also just like a oh my gosh, like you don't know this person, because if you did, you wouldn't be saying these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so being misunderstood is a frustrating feeling, but also I've kind of given up the sense that like not everyone's meant to like fully understand me. That's totally fine. Or understand us or our dynamic or our family. But then sitting in that, like, okay, they're gonna not understand, and then just actually sitting in that is still a frustrating place to be. It gets easier, but then there's things that come up that reignite those like big feelings about it.
Yeah. So I think what's really confusing about it from our very short, or my personal very short life on the internet, is like the intent is so good, right? Like we're sitting here, we're family creators. We want to go online. We want to share the love of our partners. We want to share the love of our children. We want to share like the highs, the like the good experiences, but we also want to share the honest experiences, right?
Totally.
And when those things get like taken out of context, or just like not interpreted in the way you meant, especially like when we put out the hundreds of hours of content that you do, like you sometimes the way you say it isn't necessarily the way you even wanted it to land.
Yeah.
And so, you know, for these people that like that don't know you to then go and like really lean into it and misrepresent either what you said or how you feel, like my take on it has been like it's confusing in the guise of like continuing to learn.
Yeah.
What is there anything that you wish you didn't share or wish you didn't say, or things that you think we should personally look out for? Because like you very much, like we want to share the real moments of our lives.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I love her more than I knew was possible. And we've so many amazing, joyous moments, and I want to share those moments. But I also don't want to reflect to the world that like there isn't any conflict in our relationship and we don't have bad days. And I think there's a lot of beauty in sharing how we navigate through those tougher times. So yeah, I'm just like curious, I guess, to be more specific with the question of like, is there anything that you wish you didn't put online, or that we should, you know,
Like a landmine to avoid.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question.
See, I feel so conflicted with this one because
Yeah.
I like on a recent podcast, we were on our friends' podcast, Ginger and Jeremy. They had us on, and I was talking about how, you know, I regretted talking about our fight that we had. We had like a disagreement in the hospital when Abby was postpartum, and it was just like really stressful because she was trying to breastfeed. And
I was like a rage monster postpartum. Like my second day postpartum for me, a monster takes over me.
And a rumor started from that about like, oh, Matt ignored Abby postpartum for 2 whole days. Like this, I see this comment all the time, and it pisses me off so much because it's like, Matt ignored Abby for 2 whole days.
Not
and it's
the
just like,
reality.
that's not even remotely, like, it's like, I don't even know how that even became a thing.
You might not believe me, but shopping and planning for groceries really can be simple and stress-free. Imagine having your weekly cart filled for you with personalized items and then delivered to your door. It sounds too good to be true, you guys, but it's not. Hungry Root takes the stress out of grocery shopping by filling your cart with personalized selections that get smarter with every order. So if you are dairy-free, for example, then Hungry Root understands that and they make personalized selections for you. Or if you want to optimize for high protein, salad kits, supplements, and more. And if you're gluten-free, you guys, they also have the best gluten-free options. Hungry Root can help you eat so well. All you have to do is you take their quick quiz. Their smart cart technology recommends groceries and supplements tailored to your needs, and then they're delivered right to your door, and they help by reducing the food waste and avoiding impulse grocery buys, because you know how it is. You go to the store, you pick all these things that you don't need, and then they sit in your refrigerator. You never use them, and it is so wasteful. So take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/2parents and use code 2parents. That's hungryroot.com/2parents. Code 2parents to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/2parents. Use code 2parents.
I'm conflicted because from a PR standpoint, that was really damaging to have this rumor start about me ignoring Abby for 2 days after she had our baby, because that's just simply not what happened.
Him literally doing the night shift both like every single night with our newborns. It's just not the reality.
And I feel like a really realistic like view of what our relationship looked like. There's literally a video on our YouTube channel called what is it? A Day in the Life with 202, and you see a little bit more of what I do because I'm the one mainly vlogging in that video, but it's like a really, really realistic video of like, this is what our life looked like as young parents of 2 kids. And so anyway, what I was saying though is it sucks that was damaging to who people thought we were. And it's still a rumor that I see commented all the time, and it sucks. But I've seen so many women come up to Abby and tell her, thank you for sharing your postpartum experience. It really helped me. It made me feel seen. It made me feel like I wasn't going crazy. And having a disagreement postpartum in the hospital, I think was a really normal thing that Abby and I had. But most people just never tell anybody about that because it's embarrassing. And it's like, you should keep that to yourself.
That.
Yeah, it's shameful, you know?
So yeah, from a PR perspective, yes, would have done a lot of things differently. But when I separate what the perception was and like actually our motivations in making the content, I can say this with such an honest heart that we have only had good motivations in every single thing we've shared online ever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's really all you can control, right? Is your motivation in sharing the things that you share. And so yes and no, right? It's a tough thing. It's like you can't change it anyway, so you're always just sitting and, you know, there's times you're like, why did I even do that? But then you're like, can't change it. And also, I have a clear conscience in the sharing that I've done too, and both of us have done.
But does the negative comments overshadow the joy that gets, or do the ladies that come up to you and say thank you so much for sharing your postpartum journey, does that trump all for you, like for your heart? Does that, because this is your job, right? And so you probably get some joy out of making the content, but does the hate comments supersede that or no?
Ooh, yeah, really good question. Yeah, that's
Sometimes they see a victory. I will say that. Like sometimes the hate can make it feel like it's like, what is this even for? I will say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like I would say that it's so ironic because, you know, there were times that I talked about dealing like with, you know, depression, but it wasn't like severe. It wasn't even like, it wasn't actually bad. But then me sharing about that, I got backlash. I wrote I've talked about this before, but I wrote a song about dealing with depression. And then I got a lot of backlash because people misinterpreted that as me saying that I didn't love my wife and kids, which then made me go deeper into the depression after the backlash. So it's just like, it's weird. Like it's a weird, it's such like, you don't understand it until you go through it. Cause me outside looking in, I would have been like, some freaking comments. Who cares? Who cares if there's 100,000 people that, dislike this thing you said or did? Like, who cares? It's just a bunch of internet trolls. Get over it. Like, you know, go put on some pants. But it's like, you go through that and it's completely, it's a different experience, especially when you're actually sharing your real life. Like, it's not like we're characters on a TV show here playing a character and then people just hate on our character. No, like it's real, you know?
Yeah, I would say overall, like we've talked about this so much too, but I would say overall it's a net positive though, because of, like you're saying, the feedback from people that's really meaningful. But then also like when I look at our life and that the gift that what we do, that it is to our like life, and the fact that we get to work together, we have a flexible schedule and we get to see our kids all day, every day. And I don't have to drop them off. That is overall pushing this far above the hate of some people. Like, they're allowed to misunderstand me if I can spend all day with my kids. If I can, you know, if I can work with my husband and we can be creative together and we can just like, it's net positive 1,000%.
Because what started all of this was we were 2 kids working at a pizza restaurant in college with this like dream of getting to do a hopefully creative job together because we loved working together. We
tossed around so many ideas because we were like, what if we started a bakery? Like, we're like, we were just like throwing so many things out there.
But at the time, like we bought a car together, we were sharing it. Only one restaurant would hire both of us so that we could like like tag team and
kind
like
of
go
a
to work.
liability to have
Yeah,
a
it's kind of
couple.
like nobody wants to hire a couple.
Yeah.
No, like no business is like, yeah, let's hire a couple.
This
so
doesn't seem
so the
messy at
fact
all.
that this worked, and then we got to actually do all this together, and now like we've moved out of the Midwest and started to like venture off, see the world, have a family, buy a house. It's just like when you kind of put that in perspective, you're like, this is freaking dope.
Yeah.
It's like goes to like post the video. Like it's like, you know, people are always saying like this is the life you can have if you do that. And I
Yeah.
think it's like incredible the way you just described that.
Yeah.
Like you were able to do all these things. What I could tell you want to go.
Well, I know like you're leading the line of questioning, but I would
Making
love
your
to
turn.
kind of shift a little more some content questions.
Okay, do it.
Okay, so you're in, and I'm sure you guys have talked about this all before, and I'm sure Alex knows all of it, and so apologies for me not knowing.
But the listener might not. So it's
Hopefully
really
the
good.
listener doesn't. I assume that a lot of our listeners know who you are, and I think that we'll some new listeners as well. So you're in the pizza shop. What was the video or moment that when you two realized, wow, this can be our career?
It was when our TikTok account blew up. Like
Okay.
we put up a couple of TikToks out. We actually one day I think it was April 4th or 10th of 2020. We put out 5 TikTok like dance videos, like trends. And Abby and I both have dance backgrounds from doing musical theater growing up. That's how we met. And one of the videos got 1 million views. And we were like, for whatever reason, people like to watch us dance together. So let's just keep dancing. So we just kept dancing. Like we were the people making fun of the people
like
that were
great
dancing.
dancers,
And we're like, let's
it's
just do
TikTok dancing though, right?
and we just kept and I think what really helped us too was we had like a year of trying to grow on YouTube and it failed. Like nobody cared about our videos at all. Like
Okay.
I was working part-time as an intern at a wealth management office. I was also studying to get a degree in finance from Missouri State University. Like I was hustling and then working my butt. Like the thing I was spending most of my time on was this YouTube channel that nobody watched or cared about. So then when the TikTok thing worked about a year later, that was like literally where I was about to throw in the towel and be like, F this, I'm done.
Unbelievable.
I've like worked a year at a full-time job that didn't even pay me $1. You know, it's like, this is stupid. But then the TikToks blow up and I'm like, babe, like this could be like, we could actually maybe do this. So that was a really exciting time.
And so,
cool.
Super cool. So boom, we have TikTok dance videos taking off. And then how long,
Yeah,
how
baby.
long,
Never saw that one coming.
how long did that go? And where I need to give you guys so much credit is there are a lot of people that had viral TikTok dance videos. Not a lot of people who managed to take those eyeballs and convert them to a long-lasting channel that has nothing to do with dance.
Yeah. It was
So
impressive.
yeah, I'd love to hear about the transition from like the dance videos to, you know,
Well, obviously
we're
the
sitting
YouTube
here, we
picked
have a
up.
million subscriber plaque channel. So no one cares about
Far
the
more.
YouTube. You do some dances and now you got 1 million YouTube subscribers. I know you have many more than that. What's the number today?
I don't know.
We actually, I think this year we hit 8 million, which is just bonkers.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
So yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit about that trend. Because I personally, you've been making content for,
4 years.
okay, I'm like 90 days into content.
Let's go.
Look
Yeah.
at you.
You married the content queen over here. So you're like,
Exactly.
you got a leg up.
Exactly. I learned so much, and she's like truly the best coach in the world.
No, I think you're really good at it. But I think I want you to answer that. I'm excited about
Yeah.
this
Okay.
answer.
Wait. So, what is the exact question?
Well, so then how did you is the
Oh, how did
question
we get from
how did you go
dancing
from 5 viral videos on TikTok dancing to taking it, like who saw the vision and then executed it?
Oh, Matt is the visionary. Like you.
Oh, stop.
It was honestly, we kind of joke a lot because we were in college at this time, like also working. So I was an elementary education major working as a substitute teacher and also nannying. And then Matt was like,
Well, Abby was trying to pick up like babysitting
I'm like, I
jobs
gotta
for like
babysit. We gotta make some money
for like
somewhere.
$12 an hour, and I'm like, Abby, like we need to keep making videos. Like this is paying us a lot more than $12
It took
an
a
hour.
long time for me to see the same vision, basically.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'm finishing school. I am still going to keep working my other part-time jobs, and then we'll do this whenever we have time. So I didn't see the vision for several months. And then, so we just kept doing what worked, right, for a while. Also, you're going to need to chime in here because I kind of forget. But I feel like there was a time when we saw the app changing a little bit.
Well,
where there was an opportunity to show more of you as a person rather than just these audios over you where you're only just like seeing, you know, like a shallow version of yourself. And then we just started doing more and more where we were like actually talking to the camera and like started sharing more of our story on our YouTube in depth.
Well, okay, what's really cool about TikTok now in 2025 is you actually can make money from the app itself by like their creator fund on TikTok, which is so cool. But at the time when we were taking off on TikTok, that did not exist. So the only way really we could monetize was through YouTube AdSense. So we were cranking out all these vlogs and all these videos. We do challenges. We would do letting the person in front of us decide what we eat for 24 hours. We were doing all these vlogs, challenges, stuff like that, and teasing it on our TikTok as well, in between our dance videos, in between all these, you know, sounds, audios, different couples content that we were making. And that brought people over to our YouTube where they, I think, had a deeper relationship with us than just seeing us do a dance, right? And so because we were doing that all simultaneously, that allowed us to make social media our full-time job. And eventually it built an incredible community on YouTube to where when we launched our podcast, gosh, that would be 3 years later, people were invested. People wanted to hear us talk for an hour because they had already been watching, 10, 20-minute videos of us on YouTube.
Let's talk about Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon makes high protein, zero sugar cereal and treats reinvented from your childhood. Oh, the nostalgia. There is nothing better than diving in to a good cold bowl of cereal. I can just imagine it. Now, every serving of Magic Spoon's high protein cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs. So they come with the nostalgic flavors like fruity, cocoa, and frosted. But you guys, they have the added protein. It's truly every adult's dream. Plus, Magic Spoon has high protein treats. They are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way of getting 12 grams of protein on the go. They have the best flavors. We just got these delivered to our door, and Harrison and I have been eating them like crazy. There's marshmallow, chocolate, peanut butter, and dark chocolate. They are so good on the go or for pre or post workout. And if you're a pumping mama, they are a dream come true. So get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/2parents. Or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/2parents for $5 off.
And so the business side of things today, is it like a fully ad driven business? So like the Matt and Abby business enterprise is like either from brands
deals.
paying you dollars or the platforms paying you for views?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, I would say the bulk of our revenue comes from brand deals. So yeah, we'll shout out brands, talk about them, let people know that like, hey, this is the sponsor of our podcast, or this brand is sponsoring this YouTube video, this TikTok, whatever. And then there's also revenue as well from YouTube AdSense, a little bit from TikTok, but we don't really see much. Like just the way that our business is structured, we don't see much from TikTok as far as like the platform.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fascinating. No, I think it's
And
fascinating.
have you thought about a
You'd be
product?
shocked.
Have you thought about a product?
We haven't come out with a product, but it's something that we definitely have thought about though.
2 smirks from
Do you want
them
to talk
on that
about
one.
it or no?
Can't wait. No,
So
you don't
my
do that.
background.
Yeah, Sunday?
That's what I work in consumer packaged goods.
No way.
Yeah, so I own a few different.
we should
food
talk
and
about it.
beverage brands.
Let's talk about it off podcast.
Okay.
Here.
Oh,
Yeah, we'd love to.
We'll call it
So we
Stay
have one
Tuned.
brand that we've done with like a talent or celebrity. So we created a brand called Rob's Backstage Popcorn with the Jonas Brothers.
That's
so
dope.
We're eating this popcorn backstage for like a decade that their guitarist father was making, and so we turned that into a
I
brand.
love that.
And launched it at Walmart and a bunch of other places.
Wait, we'll have to
and-
tell you about our idea after the podcast.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
love
I wanna
it.
hear about
This
it.
is something that her and I talk a lot about
we
too.
don't want to like prematurely share anything, but yeah, we
No,
yeah,
no.
the fact that you're calling it an idea too, I'm like,
it's more than okay. We're something's in the works. Let's
Okay,
just say that.
amazing.
You're
I
saying
love
it's
talking
more
about
than
this
an
stuff.
idea.
Way more.
Oh, way
Oh,
more.
okay.
Yeah, way.
Okay,
Phenomenal.
you seem
Way-
like you've jotted on paper at one
I just
point.
don't know.
No,
I just don't know if like how much we want to share now because we
yeah.
want to like.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally, totally.
You can do a slight teaser like that. That
Yeah.
just makes me want to know so much more. If
A
I'm
product is
listener.
coming, people.
There we go. And I would love to try to guess what it is offline. I'll
Yeah.
just think about
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, our last little thing we have to do is something that we do on our podcast regularly, which is called Bicker of the Week. And there's a difference between arguing and bickering.
1000%.
Bickering for us, for example, is like, I think if there's potholes, you should swerve. He thinks that's like a risk for everybody involved, right? So like that's an example of a
Yeah.
Bicker of the Week. Do you guys have one? And it
Of
could
the
be
week?
No, it doesn't have to be of the week. It could just be something like you always save your
Oh my
contacts
gosh.
under something
Like
and he doesn't.
literally so many probably. Come on. I feel like we have a lot with like regarding travel. That's fresh on my mind since we just got back.
Oh, I know what yours is.
Okay, go.
Me not getting like to the airport early.
Yeah.
So you want to be right on time?
That's a great bicker.
Yeah, that's a
That's
Yes.
a great bicker.
That's a
Yes.
So
reoccurring.
so how early do you want to get to the airport, and how early do you want to get to the airport, Matt?
Yeah, I would say like for me,
I want to get there an hour and a half before boarding.
Before
okay.
boarding, okay?
so that okay. I want to get there an hour and a half before the flight leaves ish. So if we get there, if we're like checking our luggage and it's an hour before the flight departs, I'm like, okay, we're good. If it's less than an hour and we're checking our luggage before the flight departs, I'm like, okay, iffy there. But here's the thing, I'm gonna say we've never missed a flight. We did have one situation
We've actually had two now.
where we missed a flight in London because of a time change
two.
issue.
We've missed two.
Okay, let me say this: the one in London hadn't like
it
was like such a fluke
Strange
because we had
circumstances.
the wrong time in our calendar. We
Which
just
was
had the
dumb,
wrong
right?
time in our
'Cause
calendar.
You check in and
So-
you see the.
Yeah,
And then-
that just sucks.
It just sucks, yeah.
And the other one was because we got to there. It was like a 5 a.m. flight. We were there so early, it all worked out. But we get on the plane, sit on the plane for an hour. They have everyone get off the plane, say, come back in an hour, we're going to leave. We go and get
breakfast.
lunch.
They left.
They left like 15 minutes later, and we didn't hear them. It was like at a small
reboarded
airport
and
in,
got- and
in
left.
Missouri.
Okay.
So
They
those
even
are such
changed-
flukes.
They even changed the TV
Those are
at the
different.
gate.
My
to
point
say
are very
before
different.
you-
Yeah.
We've never
Yeah.
once like intentionally like gone to the airport and had like the time right.
I'd rather be
and-
a little bit more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so I'm like, maybe I want to get a coffee, fill up my water bottle. Like, come on, what if I want to get a sandwich? Like, I also just don't want to be stressed. I also was raised by a man that gets to the airport like 5 hours before the flight. Like,
Realistically, it's 3. Like her
He's
dad
got problems.
will literally get to the airport 3 hours before
so
departure.
I feel like I'm being reasonable with like an hour and a half, but he's like, that's ridiculous. So it's always a back and forth.
So I'm going to give you guys. This is actually should be probably the Bicker of the Week for us.
Okay.
Because this is a real. So our flight to come here today left at 11:10. We had
Okay.
to check a bag.
Ask them when they would have left.
Well, we know when they would have left. An
9:10. I would have left 2 hours before, and expecting it takes like 30 minutes to
Uh-huh.
get into the airport. I would have left 2 hours before. I would have left at 9:10.
but we never do that.
That we never do that.
But you would ideally
I've left at
in a perfect
9:10.
world, you're leaving at 9:10 and you're leaving at 9:40.
But my
We
my
usually leave at
idea
9:40.
is if we leave. So let's say we have like a 20-minute drive. If we leave 90 minutes before the flight takes off, I'm like, oh, we're chilling. Yeah, we have clear. So we just like scan your face, good, front of the line. All right,
Sometimes
through,
there's
done.
weird circumstances though.
We're
right?
done.
They gotta, I know, but we're both a bit more Matt here. What I will say,
I'm
We
getting
got,
that
we
a
got
lot.
to give them
You-
the time today. This was unbelievable what we
but
did today.
Abby's living a far more like
Normal.
nice. Well, and you make flying a nice experience. We're kind of like we're always in fight or flight mode, no pun intended, on the way to the airport.
Literally.
Sweating.
I'm like, I don't want that for my heart rate.
10:10. We left at 10:10 for an 11:10 flight.
Okay.
We got to the
No.
airport at 10:26. Sorry, at 10:24. It was a 45-minute cutoff beforehand. The bags closed, so the bag
Yeah, we've missed
cutoff
checking our bags
was
for-
10:25. Thank goodness.
Got there 1 minute before.
Julie
No,
was
we
there.
didn't
We
even
had
get there in
Julie
time.
wait at the front, and like so that way when we were there, we could beeline.
She
to-
was getting the bag. So she had to check it under her name and get the bag tag printed before we got there, or else we weren't going to be able to
So
check
we
it.
like literally Ubered, pulled up, was from the Uber doors to the front desk, putting it on in under 60 seconds.
That makes my stomach hurt.
No, it's like not fun. I was like, this is not
And the bicker
thrill of what?
was me opening my dumb mouth and saying to her, "You know your eggs cost us this flight." Because she made eggs.
Oh, Matt
I'm
always
in the
boils
Uber
it
and
down
she
to,
made
like,
eggs.
one thing.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm like, no,
I was
this
in
was
the I was in the car and she
series
was
of-
making eggs.
I've learned
I never
to
should
never say comments like that ever.
Yeah. I looked at him and I said,
I paid for that.
you would have rather me not eat? And he's like, well, no. And I'm like, I'd be hangry.
And I learned and she did an unbelievable job at organizing us for it all. I should have made her the eggs.
That's what I'm saying. There we go.
There we go.
But oh
Reel it
boy.
back,
So that was
yeah.
our Bicker. That was definitely our Bicker.
no, I
our
love I
Bicker
love
today.
talking about these things. I think it's so fun. It can be so lighthearted. Obviously, it's like at our core, like we at the end of the day, we love each other. We're gonna make everything work out.
Yes.
But these little bickers are just so fun because it's just a fun debate.
Yeah,
like
totally.
even with our friends, we're like, okay, let me paint a picture for you, and you like tell it out. Obviously, you have to. It has to be something lighthearted. You're not gonna do this about something that's like an actual problem.
Totally.
But these things are fun and lighthearted.
Well, if there's a pothole, are you guys swerving or no?
I drive right into that.
Okay.
I swerve. I think I swerve.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Like if it depends on how big it is. Like, is this gonna pop the tire? I'm swerving. You know. Like
Yeah, I think like the car, like the tires would prefer us to swerve.
yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, but Harrison's just driving. I think he swerves to hit him.
Yeah, well, if there's okay,
See, I don't
there's
notice
junk
them. We
in
have a big
the road,
SUV.
Do you swerve around that?
Yes. Do
So-
you?
I just sometimes try to.
You don't want to. You don't
I
know if
make
it's
it
like
go
a
right
piece
in
of
the
metal.
middle.
It could like pop
Yeah.
your tire.
Where we come up
No,
and hit.
I space
Now
my
look.
tires so it goes right in the middle.
I'm good with that. At least it's strategic. At least you thought about it.
Wow, look at you guys. You have the freaking flashcards with the branding on the back. That's so nice.
That's new
That's
today.
so cute.
I'm doing a quick kind of scan to see if there's
Do a
any
little
other
thumb
So
through
thorough.
any questions.
to ask. I know the one we didn't do, which was like, do you guys have boundaries with your relationship as to what you
Oh,
put
I
online?
would actually love to hear this. Can I set some context?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do we have time for that?
Not
Can
really,
I just go
but
to the bathroom
Yeah.
really quick?
Yeah.
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 Sorry.
No,
Don't be sorry.
Wait, did you make those in Canva or how did you? What did you do?
Julie made him. I don't know. We'll have to ask her.
Wait, okay. Could she send Addie however?
Addie said you guys want them.
Yes, we want those.
Yeah,
That-
well,
that'll
I
be a
noticed Call
gift.
Her Daddy does that, and I'm like, that's smart.
they look beautiful. No,
They look so good.
A gift. It'll be a gift.
Oh yeah, we could gift these. This could be our gift that we always gave people that came on.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, assuming that they had a podcast. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. But yeah, aren't they cool, right?
They are cool.
It's just a different way of, because what do you guys do? You do,
I usually, it's been so. We don't have a set system. Is the thing. Yeah.
so you guys are both left-brained,
Yeah. Very left brain.
both, okay,
Yeah.
creative. Who runs the calendar?
Abby's more right brain than I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's more on the calendar. But I've gotten into the habit of loving the calendar because now with kids, it's just so chaotic. You have to use the calendar.
So
more.
you can follow a calendar if she runs it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. 100%.
And if something pops up though, are you just going to assume you're going to remember August 12th?
I set alarms on my phone. So if I have like a
Gosh.
meeting at a certain time, like I literally set alarms to know that way I don't, because like I have time blindness. I have ADHD bad. So like I will just like forget what like responsibilities if I don't have like timers set on my phone to be like, oh, do this now. But how I got through, I actually was a decent student in school, but how I got through is I would just like every night at like 10 p.m. I'd be like, oh frick, okay, time to like study for the test. And I would just cram everything and just
That
But-
should have been our bicker of the week. But that's bicker of the
but hyper
years.
focus, like my
Matt
hyper
with the
focus
alarms.
kicks in at night.
Okay.
Wait.
I have something that I was going to bring up that you don't even know about. Okay. I'd love to hear
Okay,
this.
wild card.
I know I'd love to hear this about
Matt
the alarms.
sets alarms throughout his entire day, and they're just going off. And I'm like, as soon as I hear it, it's the sound. Maybe you should try you switching the
Maybe a different sound. Yeah.
And I'm just as soon as it goes off, he's like, sorry.
I know she hates it.
My bad.
But
hate
I, like,
it.
legitimately
and then
need
I even
them.
ask him, I'm like, what was that alarm for? He's like, oh, I can't remember. And I'm
Oh.
like, what was the point of this? Like, and it'll go off for a while. If he doesn't know where his phone is, it'll just keep going off.
Okay,
That's it.
that's hilarious though.
That's
like
a
a
good
like
one.
a serial alarm setter, but sometimes doesn't know what it's for.
No,
That's
sometimes doesn't even
so
because he doesn't
good.
label it. He just like sends
Wait, let
it.
me ask you guys this. Did you plan all these questions for us day of, or did you do it like way in advance and stuff?
Well,
Well, because
trick.
we're gonna do this.
I was gonna say trick question. We had already prepped, like, because we were gonna come 3 weeks ago. But I'll say this: what's today? Wednesday?
We have
Today's
we have
Tuesday.
programming blocks.
Yeah, we have
Nice.
programming blocks. So
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
so smart.
Part Friday, part Monday.
Why don't I do that?
Amazing. Okay, wait. Back to your question. not to guide your podcast.
Or what I was
back to
going to
your
share.
question.
I interrupted
What I
you
was going to
to
share.
leave, so
I think you need to show Matt and Abby and the internet your process for alarms. So what I'd love you to do is just open up your alarm thing and show them.
I bet.
This is one of the wildest things.
this is
No.
to wake up in the morning.
Look at how many alarms she has.
I bet that you have the same thing.
Let's go. I have so
Do you
many
have something
alarms.
similar?
Really?
Yes.
Like
so
I'll
many
have
alarms.
like
That's Matt's.
55,
That's
1
freaking me
130s. See, like 2:45 p.m.
What?
Can we get the
2:53, 3:30. Did you do that?
do a screen recording of that
Well,
one?
okay, I'll forget if I already like. Sometimes I'll try to scroll to find one, but oftentimes, well, it just depends. I don't have a system.
4 alarms?
There you go.
That's all you have. Oh,
I have a 3:15, an 8 o'clock, a 9:30, 11:58, and a 4:15.
What
Oh
do
no,
you
I have so
Abby?
many. I have so many.
I would think Matt's.
Where's my phone
I
even at?
assume looks like mine.
Here's mine. I just have these.
That's yeah. There we go.
So what we just uncovered is like one of these
I
internet
don't know where my phone
ordeals
is.
where I think we're going to learn from the comments that you're going to have multi-alarm people and non-multi-alarm people, and they will debate with a lot of views, hopefully.
Yeah.
Did you have a question though? You said you had a
About
question.
relationships
Yeah,
and
the
boundaries.
question, and in the guise of learning from people who have done this to incredible scale, love to hear about the boundaries that you set around what will or won't share about your relationship.
That's so good. Something that we realized recently, having a guest on our podcast, they were talking about how on their show, they don't talk about their own relationship unless, like if it was a conflict, unless it had been resolved. And I think that was something that we had followed, but without like having that, like being as explicit about it. And so now that's something that once I was brought up, we're like, that's a really good thing to go by.
Love it.
If it's like, that's a good thing. We also have certain topics and subjects that we just know are like off the table. We don't even like address. But then if it's like something iffy, we're like, hey, I'm thinking we talk about this. Always run it by each other. And even if it's been filmed and we're like gonna post it, still run it by each other and make sure we're on the same page. What else would you say?
I think it's
a constant conversation too, because sorry, I totally asked you a question.
No, that's good. No, you're good. That, and then also like making sure we're comfortable with like what's getting posted too. Like saying, hey, this is our vlog. Like, what do you think? Is this cool? Because sometimes like we're like, I don't like that part. Let's cut that out. Let's edit that out. So just like running everything by each other.
Yeah, and it's a constant conversation too. I think it's one of those things that's kind of difficult because the internet's changing and we're changing to like have one hard and fast. You can have some hard and fast rules, but then it's hard for it all to follow a certain template when both are changing and shifting and evolving. And so it's a constant conversation like of like, okay, is this something we feel is okay? It's like, oh, well, we have certain like hard no's. Like we have certain topics that are just like hard no's for us. And even with our kids, we're like, okay, we're never going to talk about health with them, or like we're never going to talk about XYZ, or this topic is never going to be touched. And then there's, for the gray area, there's always communication.
So you guys are both pretty high touch on what goes out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say I'm low touch, but I always see like Matt has a really good filter too of like things he's like, okay, I know that's Abby's gonna be fine with that, and I trust that. I want that. I don't want to look through every single thing. But if he's like, this one, I'm like a little. I want you to look at this too. Then I always look at it.
Yeah.
Because if I say it, if it's in a podcast, I'm like, I already said it. If there was anything that I was like, take that out, I would have said that the day of filming.
Right.
And so on that back end, it's not necessary for me to also have like double eyes on it.
You kind of know as you're saying it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
stop what I was saying. That's not what I meant, and that's confusing. So let's just cut that. Yeah.
I thought you were doing that about what she was saying. That was an example.
No, that's an example.
Okay,
That
you'll
was,
say I'm stopping, I'm
acting.
cutting. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it. Okay, I think that we're good.
Yeah, I thank you so much for
You guys
taking the
answered
time
everything.
I'm sweating in here. So if you could edit out my pitch scenes, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, we can blur that for you. We'll just like put little
You actually
blurs.
don't have to do that. It's
Okay,
really fine.
thank you. Yeah, you guys, this was wonderful. Thank you for being our
Yay.
first
Thank
guest.
you.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Thank
This
you
was
for
really
having us.
fun.
This was fun.
Do you want to close this out?
I mean,
I
thank
always
you for
say
having-
I always say we love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
and then I say thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Two Parents in a Podcast, powered by Just Media House. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Stay connected on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Two Parents in a Pod. Welcome to our home. Sorry it's so messy. New episodes every Thursday.